All right, let's dive in and really decode one of the most misunderstood roles in business today, the Chief Technology Officer. Seriously, if you think it's all about writing code, you're going to want to stick around. We're about to lay out the real blueprint for what it means to be a modern tech leader.
Okay, so let's just tackle the biggest misconception right out of the gate. Is the CTO just the company's best coder? Nope, not even close. The modern CTO is, at their very core, a business strategist. They're the ones architecting the company's entire digital future, really acting as the engine for innovation.
To really get what a CTO does today, we've got to look back at how the role came to be. It's a journey that, not surprisingly, perfectly mirrors how technology itself has become woven into the fabric of business.
I mean, just look at this timeline. The whole story is right here. We started way back with factory managers just trying to keep the machines running. Then you had the first IT managers in the 50s and 70s, basically babysitting these giant mainframe computers. But the real game changer? That was the 80s and 90s. The rise of the PC, the internet. Suddenly, technology wasn't just a cost center, it was a strategic weapon. And that brings us to today, where the CTO is the absolute key figure guiding companies through this constant, crazy wave of digital transformation.
So, how do you even begin to break down what a modern CTO actually does? Well, it's definitely not just one job. It's more like a dynamic balancing act. I like to think of it as them wearing four totally different hats, and each one represents a crucial part of their responsibilities. And here they are, the visionary, the architect, the coach, and the guardian. These four roles really define the modern CTO. And listen, each one requires a completely different set of skills. The real magic, and the real challenge, is knowing how to master and balance all four of them, sometimes all in the same meeting. All right, first up, the visionary. This is the big picture thinker, right? The long-range strategist. They're not just putting out today's fires. They're looking years down the road, trying to anticipate where the market is going, and making sure the tech strategy lines up perfectly with the company's biggest goals. They're the ones who see what's possible and then map out how to make it happen. Okay, so once you have that vision, the architect hat comes on. This is all about turning that big idea into a concrete reality. The architect designs the entire tech infrastructure. They oversee how products get built, and this is a big one. They manage the money. They make sure every single dollar invested in tech is building a strong, scalable foundation that can support the company's growth. Next up, we have the coach. And this is so important. Because at the end of the day, technology isn't built by servers and code alone. It's built by people. The CTO as a coach is the leader who builds, inspires, and motivates a killer tech team. They're responsible for creating a culture where people aren't afraid to try new things, and they're constantly mentoring their people, helping them level up their skills. And finally, we have the guardian. In today's world, with digital threats coming from everywhere, you could argue this is one of the most critical hats of all. The Guardian is all about cybersecurity, protecting the company's and its customers' data, and making sure everything is compliant with regulations. They are quite literally the frontline defenders of the company's digital lifeblood. Okay, so you've got these four hats: visionary, architect, coach, guardian. How does a CTO actually use them to pull off something as huge as a digital transformation? Well, it all comes down to turning that high-level strategy into something real, something that happens day in and day out. It actually follows a pretty clear four-step process. Step one, you analyze. You have to get a brutally honest assessment of where the company's technology is right now. Then, that visionary hat comes on to envision a clear, exciting future. From there, the architect steps in to create a solid plan, a roadmap with goals you can actually measure. And finally, you execute. And in this phase, the CTO has to wear all four hats, especially the coach and guardian, to lead the entire organization through what can be a really tough, but ultimately incredibly rewarding process of change. So you might be thinking, wow, that sounds like an incredible job, but how does someone actually become a CTO? If you're someone who's aspiring to this role, what does that career path even look like? Let's break down that blueprint for success. Well, the first thing you need to know is that the path to becoming a CTO has totally changed. It used to be this straight ladder, right? The best engineer in the IT department just kept getting promoted. That's not how it works anymore. The modern path is a real blend. You still need that deep technical knowledge, for sure, but you have to combine it with sharp business sense, strategic thinking, and of course, proven leadership skills. So here's what that blueprint looks like. It all starts with a strong technical foundation. That's just your ticket to the game. But then you have to layer on top of that
We're talking about maybe an advanced degree like an MBA, getting real hands-on experience leading teams, and constantly honing your strategic thinking. But I'll tell you, there are two things on this list that are absolutely non-negotiable for success: finding great mentors to guide you and committing to being a lifelong learner. In this field, you just can't stand still. Okay, so where does it go from here? What's next for the CTO? Well, just like technology itself, this role never, ever stops evolving. The challenges and, frankly, the incredible opportunities of tomorrow are already starting to pop up today.
I mean, look at this list. The future CTO has to be fluent in this stuff. We're talking artificial intelligence and machine learning. That's not a nice to have anymore. It's core to strategy. Then you've got mind-bending stuff like quantum computing that could solve problems we thought were impossible. Blockchain, 5G, the Internet of Things, they're all set to change everything. And while all this is happening, the world of cybersecurity threats is just getting crazier and more complex. It's a lot to keep up with.
And this quote just nails it. It really gets to the heart of how the role is evolving. The future CTO isn't just leading the tech team. They're a strategic visionary who is literally shaping the entire business. It's not about managing a department anymore. It's about architecting the future of the entire company. And that leaves us with one final, really big question to think about. As all this powerful new tech continues to redefine our world, the people who understand it, the leaders who command it, are going to have a kind of influence we've never seen before. So the real story here isn't just about the future of technology. It's about how this next generation of CTOs might just end up redefining what it means to be a leader.